Get ready for Mnisi as he begins his portion of cross-examination.
As it is the court,
Yes,
I'm not so sure whether I'm going to be hearable enough on account of the flu bout that I had. But nonetheless, I will try my best.
You mean this thing is disturbing you? The air conditioning?
No, it's not disturbing me.
Okay, try. Let's see you try.
Thank you, Magas. Lieutenant Colonel Mabhena, thank you, sir. Now, as I was listening at your testimony, you from the Forensic Science Laboratory Ballistic Section, not so? Thank you. Now, science. Is it so or correct that science is an art of accuracy and precision? It's a science, it's an art. I'm now talking science. It's an art of precision, accuracy, and consistency. Science. Is that not so?
That's correct, my lord.
Now, in a case of a ballistic investigation, that art of consistency, precision, and accuracy are underpinned by the marks that you would find on the exhibit and or on the tools, not so?
That's correct, sir.
You know, the reason why I'm confirming this with you, I had a bit of a concern to one of the questions that you responded to. I mean, I had a bit of a concern about your answer to one of the questions that you responded to when my colleague, Mr. Ramusipili, mentioned to you that according to according to the expert that is going to be called by the defense, he arrived at a conclusion that says it is at a conclusion that says it is inconclusive whether the seen bullet vis-a-vis the firearm that was allegedly found are matching. In other words, the results would be inconclusive because of the reasons that will come and articulate. But then you said, according to you, you were able to find a match, not so?
That's correct, my lord.
Thank you.
I've seen a number of individual characteristics or sufficient marks that made me come to the conclusion that the bullet was fired in this firearm.
Thank you. Now, there was further an interaction between Mr. Ramusipili and yourself, where he mentioned that the type of testing that you come, the type of results after the tests that you will come up with are sort of subjective in nature. In other words, you will look at something and you yourself would say, no, I'm happy with the product, and this is my answer to the question that I've been asked to work on, not so?
My lord, I believe I was objective when came into that the findings.
Come again, I did not get that. What did you just say?
I said I was objective when I started looking at them until I found those markings. Yes. Then I agree that those markings are there. I didn't say that I'm going to take side whether I know whose firearm is it. I didn't know the firearm, whose firearm is it. Yes. But when I started looking at it, what I wanted to see, I saw that the marks were sufficient enough for me to say that this is the right firearm.
I'm going to go on record and say, oh my goodness, Mabhena, I cannot believe you lied. What did you just say? You say that you are being objective and you did not know who the firearm belonged to, but you're the same man who in your evidence in chief last year, literally over 365 days ago, You said, and the transcript will back me up, there was a 9 millimeter caliber firearm. Okay, one. You said they were bullets. Okay. You said there was a holster, and you said, bing, 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 there was a firearm license. Now, you didn't say you never read the firearm license. You didn't say you took away the firearm license to remain neutral. You said it was there. So I'm going to say you saw the firearm license. That's why you put it in your affidavit, because you saw it and you read it and you know that it said Chicco'S. And the other thing, yesterday you told us yourself, because you love to over explain, that you knew that it was Chicco'S gun and that it was to eliminate him from the process that his son shot Senzumeyua. Why? You literally said, and I quote, that Longwe, I was eliminating the possibility that Longwe used his dad's firearm. Now, let me know in the comment section if I have this wrong, but Mangena is definitely not the objective ballistic expert, and in fact, I think his reputation preceded him. And that's why the assumption was that, okay, he's coming through with the ballistic and done-donnies because he did the Oscar Pistorius case. And this is a reminder that every case is different and that we shouldn't carry forward prejudgments or any assumptions, because look at him now. Look at him now. This is an embarrassment to the state. I cannot believe that this is happening, because he's not objective. He's working backwards with the evidence. This gun must be associated with the Voslorus case. And what is the motivation of Dave to say it is inconclusive? As Mnisi says, science is accuracy, precision, and consistency. That's it. It's a bunch of formulas. Plug in the formula, you get the answer. You get one thing wrong, the answer is wrong. Let's continue listening on. Mnisi is not feeling well, but let me tell you something. He is hanging in there and he's getting through. So let's hope he manages to get through the day and that his voice doesn't flake on him.
And you even took a step further to confirm that with Lieutenant Colonel Serrero, who also confirmed what you saw, not so.
That's correct.
So will I then be correct to say that one expert from a forensic, from a ballistic science laboratory will work on a particular exhibit, let's say exhibit A, and find certain results, and he requests another colleague of his to work on the same exhibits, and then the next colleague find results which differ from the first results. That does happen, not so.
My lord, it's possible it can happen, but in that case, you'll get another analyst or the third opinion who will also look into the same the exhibits.
Thank you. That situation alone, do I have it right to understand that there's a room within the forensic science laboratory operative system. There's a room that creates a bit of a doubt with regard to the conclusiveness of the test that one expert might do and the other expert can do.
My lord, it will depend on the experience that the analyst has, who is now looking into that. Now, in this case, I'll mention specifically in this case, I've asked 4 other analysts, and all 4 of them, we agreed on the same results.
Now you've made mention of experience. Does experience count in determining forensic FSL, ballistic forensic exhibits?
My lord, when it comes to microscopic comparison, experience counts.
Thank you. Now, the level of experience that is required there, to what extent would you put it? You know, experience differ. Now, when you're talking about microscopic evaluation of ballistic exhibits, I mean, for a person to, for somebody to say, this person that is working there at the forensic science laboratory, the ballistic section thereof, I may not doubt their finding. What experience should they have?
My lord, I cannot say exactly what experience are you going to say this person has. But as long as the person is capable of using the microscope, is capable of searching for the unique markings on your cartridge case, who knows how to look for those, I would say his experience, he can do that.
Thank you. Hypothetically, an officer that has been working at the forensic science laboratory, the ballistic section thereof, who's been there for a year, is capable of using the microscope, is capable of identifying those marks that should be identified in an exhibit. Would you regard him as experienced enough for somebody to come and say, this gentleman or this lady, even if it's only 1 year in the forensic science laboratory, the ballistic section thereof, I won't doubt their results?
My lord, I'll say the person is still under training. Within a year, still be under training and still lack a lot more experience to be more competent.
Yeah, which is the reason why I actually requested you just to give us a rough estimation as to what is the level of period that one can look at to come and say, with this number of years on this thing that this person has been doing, I may not doubt their results. That is the level of experience.
My lord, as I said, I cannot say
Okay.
that because it depends. You can find a person who has been there for 4 years, 5 years, but is most of the time not working on the microscope. He'll be working on the microscope maybe once or twice in a week or so.
Okay.
Somebody who's been there on a daily basis or who's been there for a number of years would be experienced because they've been using the mic. He knows how to manipulate, to start looking for your exhibits, to your markings, to rotate your exhibits, to put it in a way that you can see all your markings that you want.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Akudepende eminyakeni ngoba ngenzeka ukuthi umuntu mhlawumbe uneminyaka emine lapho kodwa ke usebenzisa i-Microsoft kanye noma kathathu ngenyanga kodwa khona ke abangabe besebenza lapho ukuthi usebenzisa kaningi i-Microsoft siyakwazi nokuthi uyihlola kanjani uyazi ukuthi yini ayifunayo emebhekile nokuthi iguqula kanjani ke lento ayihlolayo ukuze akwazi ukuthola ke lezi impawu lezi afisa ukuthi ke ezimsiza ukuthi afinyelele esinqonyeni esihle esincomekayo.
Thank you. In a case of an impasse, like a deadlock on two experts, then you say the matter gets referred to a third expert to go and have their own independent evaluation of the experiment, not so.
Manje ke uma ukuthi ke ochwepheshe laba bafinyelela ezinqumeni ezehlukile eziphikisanayo uthe nje konje kudingeka uchwepheshe wesithathu ukuze akwazi ukuzoxazulula ukuthi impela umphumela omuhle imuphi.
My lord, it will depend on the exhibits that you are working on.
Yes.
Sometimes find that if it's bullet, one expert can see more markings on the exhibits, the other one cannot see those markings. You may take the decision that let's shoot additional tests and compare the additional tests also to see if we can see the markings better on those exhibits.
Okay. That is exactly my point. Two experts, one see an exhibit with marks in a particular way, and the other one see exhibits with marks in a particular way. You go on and say, let us shoot further test bullets, or let us shoot further tests, just to create a holistic picture, to determine whether what we have discovered as expect A and what I have discovered as expect B is still the same. That I understand. Thank you, sir. But now, still, expect A finds what he found initially, and expect B stands by what he found initially. In other words, both of them said, no, Mina, I'm still on my side. And the other expect says, I'm also still on my side. In that instance, that is where then you request the assistance of another expert, that is now a third expert, to reconcile the two views, not so.
My lord, in some instances, or in most of instances, if expert B cannot see the marks that expert A sees,
Yes.
what we'll do is expert A will go to the mic, put an ID or the striation that marks that he sees, or the individual marks that he sees, and then we'll show expert B, this is what I see. Are you agreeing with me? Where you show you always matches, and he'll go up to the next markings or the
Yes.
follow-up markings until he can see or can show him all those markings.
But now, in an event that they still do not agree, even when they are seated together in the same microscope, viewing those exhibits, they still don't agree on certain marks. Wouldn't a situation occur where a third person gets involved to come and reconcile the two disagreeing views?
That's what I said, my lord, that the third expert will be called to come and also check the same exhibits.
Okay. Now, the third expert, will he or she be a person of the same level as those who had initially dealt with the disputed results, or will that be a person of a higher level in terms of experience?
My lord, as I said, you'll get another expert who's an experienced expert to come and test it and examine it for you.
Njengoba sengishilo-ke kuzotholakala omunye uchwepheshe omkantshubomvu naye ukuthi eze azohlola.
Wow, this is like pulling teeth. We get it, Mnisi. You are dragging this out too long. He already said it 3 questions ago, because he's asking the same question over and over again, just expanding upon it. But the question is, if 2 experts, expert A and expert B, do the same test and their results don't match, do you call a third expert to come and verify? Yes. How experienced does that expert need to be? Mangena doesn't have an answer. They just need to be able to be a tiebreaker. Okay? Mnisi asks again and again and again. So it is exhausting. But I get what he's doing. But he could have done this in one shot and moved on. What is happening here is that Mangena is failing to get out of the trap. He walked into the trap and now he has to answer those questions. So what Mnisi is proving here, that there is a possibility that 2 experts cannot agree. 100%. For example, Dave says the bullet found at the crime scene is inconclusive with the gun that was found in possession of accused number 3. Mangena is saying it is affirmative, it is firm, that is the gun. That is the gun, ladies and gentlemen, that shot and killed Osenzo Meyiwa. Again, Mangena is the same person who said, what about Chicco'S gun? Not the gun, not a match. How do we know? How do we know that the tests that Mangena did were conclusive? Food for thought. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below.
Thank you. Now that experienced expert comes and aligns him or herself with the views of the expert who says, I can see that there are markings there, characteristics, but I also confirm that they are not of such a nature that we can link this firearm with the scene bullet. Would you still go further and get another opinion, or you're going to limit yourself to the opinion of these three experts?
My lord, it will depend. It's either they will go for the fourth expert or they will make a decision there by themselves.
No, kungenzeka ukuthi bathi bayofuna uchwepheshe wesine noma ke bahlali lapho bathi bazothatha isinqumo bona ngokwabo.
Now, based on that explanation that you just gave now, does that not really indicate that there's a bit of a gray area within the forensic science laboratory with regard to the conclusivity of results or of findings based on what you have just said today, in terms of their accuracy?
My lord, inconclusive is also a findings. If you say it's inconclusive, you're saying that I can see there's similarities, but they're not enough. It's not negative, but there's some class characteristics, there's some individual characteristics, but they're not sufficient enough. So I cannot conclude by saying it's possible or it was fired in this firearm or not. You can just leave it there.
My question was, based on the explanation in relation to the fact that if two initial experts don't agree, they involve a third one. And there is also a possibility that a fourth, the fifth, the sixth, up to that number of experts might be called. So based on that explanation, would I, as a person that is standing there, looking at what is happening within the forensic science laboratory, would I be justified in thinking that there's a bit of a gray area? A gray area means an area that it has got loopholes with regard to the final results that would come out of the ballistic forensic science laboratory in view of the scenario that we just explained here?
My lord, as I said, inconclusive is also a finding. If I say it's inconclusive, it means I cannot say it's positive, I cannot say it's negative, but it's there.
Yeah.
That's my finding. So we can, not all the firearms or not all the bullets will have clear marks that you can see.
Yes.
But as long as there's no markings that you can see, that you can identify the individual markings, and you end up by saying that it's inconclusive because I don't have enough markings.
Yes.
And if all of us are saying that we don't have enough markings, let's say 1 or 2 people are saying we don't have, but 10 people are saying we can see the similarities.
Okay.
What does it tell us? Most of the people who are seeing that will show you the individual characteristics that they see on that one. Then if you stick with your findings that for you it's inconclusive, it's your findings.
Yes.
Everyone will take his own findings.
So, in my opinion, there we go. Mangena has confirmed that everybody sticks with their own findings, so it can be inconclusive. So, inconclusive means, it is not an absolute match. There's not enough characteristics, so therefore the gun did not match the bullets. They are not yin and yang. They are not a twin set. Okay, they are not a married couple. Okay, it's not working. It is not the right bullet with the gun. Okay. So, Mnisi has got Mangena to teach us, okay, and prove to us that inconclusive is also a result. And therefore, just because Mangena said the bullet found at the Kumaluspa's house matches the gun found on Umncube does not mean that that is conclusive. Somebody else can come and say that is inconclusive, and you can keep checking and checking experts and going and going. You can even go up to 10, but if they all don't match, they don't match. There is no way to force the results to match, or there's no referee process in this ballistic thing. Did you know that? That was an interesting exercise, Mnisi, although I thought it was a bit redundant, but I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Of course, we'll thank Dave. Okay, their in-house expert paid by legal aid for bringing this a little bit of information, because we could have all just been going with, Mangena from Oscar Pistorius case. Oh, him, yes, Uyena, and whatever he says goes, because we know Judge Rata absolutely is eating everything that he says as factual. So let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts. I definitely want to hear from you. Thanks for watching. If you've watched the ads up to this far, thank you so much. You have my heart. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. More commentary loading on Mnisi versus Mangena. That is it from me today. I'll catch you on my next upload. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. What are you waiting for? This week, we have seen a lot of self-confessed, I've finally subscribed. So don't be left outside the club because seating is limited. We're getting to 40,000 subscribers very soon. Thanks for watching.